Hey gang, how you doing? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Powerizer Voyager class Megatron. Say that 10 times fast. Now this is the update, or the Voyager class version of Megatron, obviously. And we're going to be taking a look at him, obviously. Now I do have to admit I am a little bit torn on this figure because there are a lot of good things with this guy, but there are some things that this guy just does that just don't work for me in the slightest. Now the first of which I'm going to talk about is right here in the robot mode, which he is packaged in, and that is the weapons. Why are the weapons brown? Yes, technically they could be called dark gold, but they're brown. They're like light dirt brown. I have no idea why they chose that color scheme. The only place that that color shows up is on the feet, on the kneecap, on the knee dressings, and the hands. And why is that color even on this figure to begin with? I don't remember Megatron ever being brown in Transformers Prime. Now the deluxe class figure, there is no brown. It's all gray. No brown. Don't see any brown here. Also, that is another big thing that has me a little bit irked. The clear purple I could deal with. What I don't like, however, is the paint. It's too dull, and a lot of people have stated this. The paint on this figure is much too dull. Now, my good friend Optibotimus went ahead and painted his, and he did a pretty darn good job. More of a sparkling silver. But I have to give nod to the deluxe class figure here, because the deluxe class figure has a much better paint scheme than the Voyager class figure, which is a real shame. So let's go ahead and look at the figure in a little more detail. So here we have Megatron off of the turntable. Now first I want to say I am on a very squeaky chair. And all of the chairs that I am currently at this table seem to squeak. I apologize if you hear the squeakiness. So, okay, he's got two weapons. First, this handheld weapon that pegs into his forearm, and can only peg in on that forearm, is a forked handheld weapon. He's never used this. And I find it a little odd that it looks pretty similar to his Cybertron flight mode. A little weird, but it's okay, I guess. I've never seen him use it, so I'll put that off to the side. Now for his fusion cannon. Now the fusion cannon looks completely different from the deluxe class version. This is the Voyager class fusion cannon. This is the deluxe class fusion cannon. They look completely different. This one has a what I like to call a scissoring gimmick. What this serves, I don't know, but I do like the show accuracy of the weapon, of the sword that forms. However, it, again, like the Voyager Prime, has this little laser down here that does nothing. I don't understand what it's supposed to do. It obviously lights up, but what is it lighting up? The plastic is translucent, but red and purple make darker purple, or make more indigo than anything else. It doesn't make any sense to me. And why is his fusion cannon brown? That doesn't make any sense. Let's change the exposure a little bit. Okay, so here we have Megatron in robot mode. Now, as you saw on the turntable, he's got quite a backpack. And like this is the best way I could get him to pose. I think he looks best like this. Now, if you want, you can push this back and all the way down. That's as well hidden as you're going to be able to make this backpack. Unfortunately, unlike the deluxe class, where you can do a little jerry-rigging and fold it up behind his back, that's not going to work with this guy. There's nowhere to fold it. So, unfortunately, that is a big problem. The other problem is, there's something wrong with the plastic on this figure. I don't know what it is. Or I didn't, until at work we got new forks and knives. And then I realized, this guy is made of recycled plastic. Now normally I would be fine using recycled materials. But the big problem is the plastic doesn't feel right, especially the silver plastic. The purple stuff feels okay because that's been painted, and the clear plastic feels okay. but I doubt it's going to show up on camera, but this figure has a grain to it, especially on the chest and the shoulder pieces and the upper arms. There is a grain to the plastic that moves up like that. It's very weird, and if you catch the light right, you'll see it. But unfortunately, my camera is not going to catch it. And it wasn't until I got these new forks and knives at work that I realized these parts are recycled plastic because they have the same exact grain and texture to them. It's so strange. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking. Is it cheaper to use recycled plastic? I don't know. Now, one thing about the robot mode that I will say that I really do like is the face. The face on the robot mode is quite nice and is well detailed, and it has excellent light piping here on the back of the head, so you get a nice purple glow. And I really do appreciate the fact that Hasbro took the effort to paint the face. Just really nice Megatron face. You see the teeth, you see all the detail. Good job for Hasbro on that one. Very good job. Posability on this guy is not too bad, I have to admit. The head is on a ball joint, but because of the way the head is sculpted, it is a limited ball joint. Shoulder pads, actually, are on a ball joint and a hinge joint. Then there's a ball joint at the upper arm, a swivel joint just below the elbow. Elbow bends 90 degrees, and then the hand can bend in and out, so that is part of the transformation. No waist articulation. But there is a ball joint at the hip, a swivel joint here at the upper thigh, 90-degree bend at the knee, and then the feet collapse in and out, which again is part of the transformation, but the feet and heel can be used to stabilize the figure quite nicely. Now, the transformation for Megatron is probably one of the more annoying transformations. If you have the deluxe class Megatron, this guy, knowing how this transformation works helps you a lot here, but it only helps you so much. We're going to start off by just kind of taking the figure and just kind of lifting the arms back. Now, the arms do attach to the back via their pegs there, or peg holes there. Not the tightest pegs in the world, but they do a decent job. So what we're going to do is just start getting everything in order. So when we lift it up, and that's my phone. Okay, where were we? Sorry, that was the wife. Okay, so we're going to take the arms and actually collapse them into the back of the back. And there are peg holes inside the upper arms, right above where my thumb is. They go on those pegs. So we'll just do that real quick. Now, I will be the first to admit the directions aren't that great, but they do a decent job. Next, we're going to take the hands and completely collapse them into the wrists, and then take these bits, or the forearms, and rotate them around so the hands point down the back of the figure, and then they combine like that. So there we go. We are done with that part. We are done with that part for right now. Take the shoulder pads and rotate them so that the spikes are pointing forward for the robot mode. Then come up here to the shoulders, or to the chest, and split the chest open like that. So as you can see, if you go back to the review for the deluxe class version, we're doing the exact same thing except with the addition of the shoulder pads. Next, we're going to put the shoulder pads and kind of point them down a little bit, so we can take these pieces that are really gainly and ugly in the robot mode and bring them together, and then take this middle piece that's on his back and fold it out. There we go, and we'll combine them, and we will get the Megatron head exposure thingy. Then rotate the entire figure like that, so that the feet are pointing straight down and back parts are pointing straight up. Now for the legs, I'm going to do the exact same thing as the deluxe class version. Just collapse the feet, take the entire front, or entire hips, and rotate them completely around like that. Just get them up like that. And then here we bring the chest pieces all the way forward, and they lock into place on this side, but don't lock into place here. Now one thing you can do is take the crotch plate and actually fold it down and peg it into place, and that'll give you a little better look. Oops. now for the legs. And the legs are annoying. But like I said, if you know the deluxe class version, you shouldn't be too hard off here. So we're going to open them up just like we do the deluxe class version and get them rotated around. Same thing on this side. Now this is where things get annoying because of these shoulder pads. They just get in the way of everything. What you need to do is get it so that the leg actually comes up underneath the shoulder pad, and then there's a purple piece right here just above the foot. That part will peg in to this right here. So you just have to wiggle and just got to get everything lined up out of the way so you could get that part plugged in. We'll do the same thing over here. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt. That's what you got to do. So, as you can see, things are getting in the way. Oh, missed. There we go. Now, we're almost there. What we need to do is take this piece, the leg pieces, you can fold out the little wings now, and we have to get this piece, this peg right here, pegged in up here. And it just takes some fiddling. If you're in a rush or you just want to quickly transform something, this is not the figure to do it with, because things just get in the way. They're fiddly, they're spindly, and to be honest, they're really freaking annoying sometimes. Because things just do not like lining up on this figure at times. You just have to have patience, and sometimes you'll get it right on the first try. Other times you'll just fudge it and it'll get into place. And finally, we'll take the fusion cannon, that peg, and plug it in to the purple part. And here we have his vehicle mode. Now, I will be the first to admit, it's not awful. It's not terrible. Oh, and forgot, you can take the weapon and plug it in up here. Yep, forgot about that. But, okay, as I said, it's not awful, it's not terrible, but it's not very good either. I mean, it's okay. If you don't like being able to see the robot mode and vehicle mode, then you're going to hate this right away. I mean, you just are. But overall, it's okay. It's all right. But it doesn't feel as together as the Deluxe Clash version does. Now, I love the Deluxe Clash version mode because it just works for me for some reason, even with the robot head. I guess that's because with the way the robot head is in this mode, you get the light piping and everything just feels to scale. And it works better for me. Plus, there's the added bonus of you can fold up the wings, and it becomes this crazy, like, F-Zero type plane car. This, on the other hand, you can't do that. And that's a shame. But I don't know what this is supposed to be. This doesn't feel aerodynamic at all. But this does for some reason. I don't like this. I don't like this figure. I don't like the plastic they used. I don't like the paint scheme. I don't like the transformation. I don't like the robot mode's okay. The vehicle mode is stupid. And I hate the fusion cannon. So, guys, don't pick this up. Don't buy this one. If you wouldn't need to buy a Voyager class figure, I would recommend the FE version of Optimus, but if you can't get that, the Powerizer version is fine. But just leave this one on the shelf. Bumblebee needs the company.